Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and jump on into a highly specific message. These are the ones where we start out with some image or some message that starts us out, something that popped into my head. But before I get into this, let me also mention to you guys that these are the videos where I leave the comments on. You guys can just type the word heal in the comment section if you would like to, once the comments become visible, which will happen as soon as I'm done recording this live. And that gets you entered to win not only for Monday's winner, but throughout December, from December 1st all the way through Christmas. I will be doing like an advent calendar day where every day we'll pick two winners. So all you have to do, like I said, is type the word heal in the comments. Right now, you'll only see the chat if you're watching this at about 10 o'clock at night on the 29th. Okay. I'm live right now, so I can see you guys in the live chat. Angel, Leo girl, using my intuition. Great to see you. But as soon as this is no longer live, then the comments will be available. So you can go ahead and that'll be the case. We'll be doing one of these videos actually every day from December 1st through the 24th. So you guys can enter to win every day if you'd like. So anyway, there you have it. And I just wanted you guys to know what's up. So in this storyline, what popped into my head was somebody that was either setting a clock or a watch. I don't know if it was like broken. I don't know if it was like somebody who was like going for their personal best and they were like, stopwatch style. I don't know what it was other than it was round and it was like something that somebody was actively looking at. I don't know if they were like moving the hands on a clock to set it or if they were, like I said, using a timer or a watch, but something about a timepiece. We have epiphany, self-reflection, answered questions, untapped talents. Okay, so somebody could potentially be like connecting to like a thought process and it's like, oh my God, how could I not see this? It's about time I noticed this, or it's about time I have this breakthrough. Okay, that could be amazing. That starts out really, really nice. Hi, guys. So good to see everybody. Using my intuition. Shout out to you in Melbourne. Shout out to everybody in Australia. You guys know that's one of the places in this world I would love to visit, specifically Uluru. And I've been really just wanting to use this backdrop for a while now. And so I was like, today I've got to do it. I've got to do it. And so we'll be using it all day tomorrow also. But yeah, just kind of a beautiful location on Earth that I would dearly love to see. There's a lot of spiritual significance. So someday I'll get to the Northern Territory for sure. But in the meantime, what a lovely backdrop and just nice Earth energy and spiritual significance. We have a Seven of Wands. Somebody's having an epiphany, possibly about either we could have a masculine, it could be the masculine having the epiphany as well, though. But he has this mask on and he's like a rock star here. So she may be having an epiphany about him. She could be saying, you know what, I realize he is shy, but also craves attention. That could be her thinking this of him. I'm not too sure about that yet. Let's take another look. There's definitely something who doesn't want to show their face, but then at the same time, they want to be adored while still maintaining like a private image, or maybe this is an introvert who's, wanting, the things that they do. I mean, a musician is an incredible artist and a huge gift to share with the world, but that doesn't mean that they're somebody who necessarily wants fame, even if they want to share their gift with the world. Like sometimes I wonder, I have no musical talent, so I can't speak about anything like this, but sometimes I wonder, like, to create music is kind of something that anybody with ears is going to be able to hear you. So it is inherently a gift that is meant to be shared with others. If you're going to sing, somebody's going to hear you. If you're going to play music, your neighbors are going to hear you, even if you don't want them to. So music is one of those things where it's almost a requirement that your gift must be shared with the world. Even if you are a shy individual, you're gifted with some talent that is destined to be, enjoyed by others. And that could be a gift and a curse for like an introverted or shy person who also still has this weird duality where it's like, but I must create this music and then people must hear it because that's what I have to do. And of course, I would rather know that people like it than hate it. So I could imagine anyway how that could be, like two things could be true at the same time. I don't want to be seen, but I have to because of what I can do. I could see that being a gift and a curse to a musician. Again, can't speak from any personal experience on that one, but I could imagine. We have fortune, or the wheel of fortune. I'm still not sure how to take this yet, other than this is more like a dragon, but it's a little snake dragon-esque going on here. And we have this feminine on this card here, on this playing card. And we've got butterflies and we've got the crystal ball or the moon. We could look at it either way. So we've got some different symbols of transformation, of looking into the future, of throwing the cards where they may be. Perhaps something to do with what has been learned, what the lesson has been learned about this year. Is this him having an epiphany about her? Or is this her having an epiphany about him? Remember, it does say untapped talents and self-reflection. Maybe this is her saying, I'm realizing that I have figured out some things about me, but maybe he's actually figured some stuff about himself and her. I say that because she's being held up on the card. Somebody has been playing with cards, maybe for the purpose of, tarot cards or something like that, maybe out of just pure fun, maybe just to gain different, timeline perspectives. Whatever this is, though, we have a breakthrough. We have the art card, Temperance. This is two people, I think, that are very equally as meshed. And again, we have the universe dealing out this hand of cards. We have these two kind of like galaxies in this painting. And we also have a ghost town being represented here. I'm going to say, by the way, somebody has some kind of interesting looking like jade or maybe turquoise jewelry. And it's a turquoise that has like the like crackle look to it. Somebody could also have a piece of like Chinese statuary. Maybe it is a dragon or something. I feel like it sits like on their front porch as they open up their front door or something. But it's like a piece of statuary. It could also be somebody's gone out for like Chinese food, but at a very ornate like Chinese restaurant that has like dragons somehow. I keep thinking about the door. It's around a door. And I don't know if somebody has like, if they tend to like work a night shift or something, so they drive through town when it's like pitch dark or something, or if there's somebody who tends to be up all night. Maybe this is like an insomniac. Maybe this is somebody who doesn't sleep very well, but maybe it's because they've been working on having this epiphany. All of this says the card of hands that have been dealt are actually exactly the cards that a character was supposed to have. But now I think it's two people recognizing this. We have a Princess of Cups here as well. And we've got the, pearls of wisdom here. Are we having characters that are having this epiphany that maybe they're awfully similar? Is that what this boils down to? Let me change decks and go one more time, because let me simplify this and say, what is your epiphany? What did you recognize? And we're going to ask the feminine this first. The Hermit, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so she could be a natural introvert herself, and yet she may always work with other people. So if she knows that about herself, that might help her to understand him a little bit better. But let's ask, what is his epiphany? What is your epiphany, masculine? Because somehow he's thinking an awful lot about her because she's in his cards. Eight of Cups, there's that dragon again. Ace of Pentacles, there's that year of the snake. There is something here where his epiphany is, if anything, we have a character who's thought that they were always like better off alone or going to stay alone, but he's either having a change of heart or he's about to do things very differently. I think this is like an end of the year realization. I don't know what the deal is with the dragon and the snake, other than, definitely it's about shedding an old skin. Snakes are also about truth. Today there was look, I'm even afraid of plastic snakes. Okay. And there was like this very cool bracelet that I saw that was shaped like a serpent, but I was like, I can't own that because I couldn't make myself touch it. It was too good looking. And I was like, I can't, I can't. We have a Wheel of Fortune. There's our clock. Okay. So obviously these characters have no fear of snakes, by the way. These characters are far braver than I. Sorry, that just reminded me of that. And I don't think somebody's seeing images of snakes. I think they might see the carved, doorway or something like that has to do with a statuary of a dragon. But dragons represent dreams as well. his epiphany is it's time. It's time that he either sees things from a new lens. I really think he thought he was supposed to be alone, always alone. And I honestly don't think that he thinks that way anymore. I think his epiphany is that maybe it's time I do the thing. You notice he has this little heart on his letter. I think this is somebody who's realizing I'm a little nervous to do this, but I kind of think that it's time. I put on my best hat and coat, and maybe I go ahead and this could be a letter he wants to send. There is definitely something about the clock. I'm glad that we're talking about this now because his epiphany is that he's realized she's important to him. And we got the Wheel of Fortune twice. So we know this has to do with divine timing. She's realized she's alone, but likes to be around others or works well with others. He's realized he's been alone, thought he should stay alone, and that's not true. Ultimately, I can see why we would have two characters, and both of them may like to be places where nobody else is there. Like they don't like big crowds. They could be like, oh no, I like to grocery shop, like right before a store closes late at night because nobody else is there. You don't have to stop and chit chat to people. No, I like to go to places on the off season where there's no tourists around. No, I like to go, on the off days. I'm going to go to a museum, but it's going to be, like a Wednesday afternoon, a Tuesday, morning. It's going to be when no one else is there. Oh, no, I like to go to the gym, but I work my work schedule around so I can go at 11 a.m. when nobody else is at the gym because they're at work, but I'll work the weird shift. Like that's what it feels like. Oh, Hetty, you sweetheart. Thank you. You are so incredibly generous. Thank you, love. You're so generous. Thank you, Hetty. All of this feels really, I don't know, like these two both thought that they were supposed to be alone. He definitely knows that's not what he's meant for. He's got a very loyal heart. There is something here with that Six of Pentacles. He would like more than ever to be in a partnership. I think this is great. She's thinking the same thing. I would be good in a partnership. That's what I think. Both of these characters would be great in partnerships. San Juanita, you're cracking me up. Nice to have you guys here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. So we have characters doing pretty well. I got to ask, do these two know each other? Are these two in each other's worlds? Is this two people who've been like friends, but, weren't considering dating? Or is this two people that they know of each other, but hadn't considered like really stepping forward and trying to get something started? We have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So she definitely has not made any move in his direction. Like she hasn't even shown like she's attracted. She's been, I even think this is somebody who hasn't like been out there flaunting her stuff with anybody in a while. It kind of looks like it's been a long time since she's even had a date. And then we have this 10 of Wands upright. And I would say this is on his side. So when I ask, do these two know each other? What's their deal? With the 10 of Wands, he's only just now ready to start thinking about relationship. And there's that. Okay, now we have the stopwatch. I kind of think we've had two characters that are a little bit broody loners, okay? Like, and thought that's the way they were supposed to be for a while. So it was, when you're in that mindset, you're probably not gravitating toward one another. You're probably not trying to start a romance with anybody when you're like, I'm meant to be alone. I'm going to stay out here and be broody out by myself. I probably won't do any of that. We have a Justice card. Yeah, I would say here he sits in his cloak. We can't see his face. I would say in this storyline, and please remember, it's not about masculines versus feminines. This could be same-sex couple, does not matter. But in this story, we saw very clearly some masculine energy and some feminine. So that's why I'm saying he and her. He has not revealed at all how he feels about her. And that's not what's unfair about this. If anything, both of them maybe were doing themselves injustices, thinking that they were both probably better off solo, probably better off not being around other people. I think very few people know him, know the real him. And I think he kept it that way on purpose, even if he's extremely well respected, well liked, and whatever he does. He doesn't have to be a musician, he could be anything. But very few people does he take off his mask for. And he thought he was better that way. But something about her keeps coming up in his life, keeps coming up in his deck of cards. Something about her. His mind turns to her. Symbols remind him of her. Oh, pew, Aries smells. Aries does not smell good tonight. I think my boy ate some cat food. Sorry, tarot dog is definitely present, but whew. Um, if anything, the more he thinks about her, the more he's realizing it's a little bit silly if you keep thinking about somebody, but you keep insisting you're supposed to be alone when that's not really what he wants. And she, same thing. She's thought for the longest time she's supposed to just go solo. She's used to being solo. She's used to being the hermit. But how long is she going to do that? Again, I didn't even catch this, by the way, but we have essentially the clock here as well. That clock is, well, it's an hourglass now. I would just say that this is too much time for these two to have been solo. And if anything, if he has not presented himself to her yet, there couldn't be a better time for him to do so, because she's over here thinking she's pretty much invisible, particularly when it comes to matters of her love life. This is not somebody who's been out dating. This is somebody who maybe has felt fairly invisible with that Hermit's card. And that maybe needs to change. And if he's over here thinking about her, can I just ask, why does he have the tarot cards that look like he keeps having her come up in his cards? Two of coins, and there's that clock again. I don't know. There's something here where maybe he just weighs the thoughts of her in his mind. Maybe that's more of a metaphor. It's like every time I shuffle my thoughts, she keeps coming, face up. All these little things remind me of her. It could be something along those lines. He could be having a few dreams of her or something as well. I'm just noticing like this is early morning. But I would just say that she pops up a lot in his head. Seven of Cups. He wonders what she's doing. He wonders little things about what she likes, wonders little things about what kinds of things make her happy. Maybe he wonders what she does with her time. I don't know how he's known of her or has met her or encountered her, but clearly she takes up space in his mind. These two could have like worked together, but there's been no, approach for a romantic, overture, or these two have been around each other, but they just haven't gotten to the point of like actual getting to know each other. Even if they see each other, we know people at work, but that doesn't mean we know anything personal about them. Or somebody in your community, or you pass by somebody, or you see them even every day, whatever, at the post office, or but you haven't ever had a personal dialogue with them, and you don't know what do they do, where do they go after they leave their job at the post office every day, where do they go after 5 o'clock, what makes them happy, what things do they enjoy. It just kind of feels like she keeps coming up on his mind with like, I wonder if she'd like this. I wonder where she's at. That's a pretty good indicator that she's definitely front and center on his mind a lot right now. And I'm guessing there's a reason. It's for him, he's realizing he'd like one person to know him. Three of Swords. I kind of think realizing he's interested in her has helped him to get to the point of saying, I was heartbroken for a long time, and I really thought I was supposed to just be alone. He even promised himself he was going to be alone. And something has changed. This is a great year to make change, right? Even though we're coming into the end of the year, that's even more meaningful because that's the big culmination, right? And sometimes imagine, sorry, I don't even want to imagine this, but now I have to. Imagine like a big old snake, a really long one. Oh, so gross. Sorry, I'm grossing out over here, but I'll try not to. I would imagine it takes a little bit for them to move out of their old skin and to fully shed it. The more surface area there is, the longer that thing is, probably the longer the skin is to shed. So let's just say the more entrenched an idea is that, I'm supposed to be alone, I could see how this would take maybe a whole year to shed that idea because it was a really entrenched idea. I'm supposed to be solo, except she's still on my mind. She's still on my mind. I keep thinking about her. I kind of think, who am I kidding? I'd actually like to talk to her. I don't think I really want to be living in a place of heartbreak and never talk to another person again and never open up to anyone again. I want to try opening up to her. There is something about her that feels like a safe space for sure. And I think he has a very loyal heart. And I think he must have some idea that she does too for that dog to be there. Let me take a look. Raise the cage. You love. Thank you so much, babe. That is the most heartwarming thing ever. You're so awesome. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the Six of Wands. I definitely feel like even though he doesn't know who she is exactly or what she's made up of, and is she super, like somebody super reliable, he's like, I don't know that about her, but why do we have a tower of dogs? He already has a damn good idea that I'm quite certain that she's an incredibly loyal heart. And somehow thinking about that, like maybe he's been fantasizing or daydreaming, like somebody who would be really loyal to me, somebody like her, that obviously he thinks she's really attractive, right? He has to, because she's on his mind so much. He's drawn to her. If somebody like her was loyal to me, God, I'd feel like a freaking rooster over here. I'd feel pretty damn amazing. Cock of the walk over here. Six of Wands. I'd feel incredible to have a partner like that had like this profound loyalty to me and I to her. This is a two-way street. Maybe that's why he was so convinced he was just going to be solo for the rest of his life, because he didn't want to deal with losses or, cheating or emotional cheating or anything like that. This could be a divine masculine who, got, not even just brokenhearted, but betrayal, can throw you pretty deeply, for a long, long, long time. That might explain why this has been a long recovery, because loyalty is at the heart of all of this. And I love the fact that we have a tower of dogs, wiener dogs, no less, in little top hats. But he can picture, like, this would be an amazing relationship. I do believe she's loyal. I mean, I have no proof of that. It's just like, I know that about her. And it feels amazing to think that I wouldn't have to worry about someone like her being a cheat. I think that there's a lot to be said for already sensing that you know something about another person's like core values. And I can understand how that slowly and over time might have sunk in and made somebody say, I thought I wanted to be alone, but that's a good person. And I know that they have some creed that they live by. And I believe that there's something about them that is so trustworthy. Maybe this is because like attracts like in this one. They both have that hermit's energy. I mean, she is clearly not a player. We saw that already. We see her as somebody who's been solo for quite some time. And that too might be like, oh, wow. So you're somebody who can handle being alone. You're not, instantly trying to find some other romantic partner. That means you're selective. That means you choose based off of who you really want to be with, not just because you need the next person in line. So I could see how that would be very appealing to him about her. Do you know anything about him, feminine? Do you have any inkling that he's out there, that he's got eyes on you? I feel like she doesn't know anything about him. Three of Cups is upright. I think they got to sit down and have some kind of a conversation first. The Three of Cups would be like a date. It would be sitting down to have, well, in this case, tea. The tea is the truth. I do not think she knows him. I think she's just realized maybe she also is saying, I don't really want to be single my whole life, or, I would like a partner. It's great timing because he's at that same point. We go back to that Justice card. She does not. That's why I said I don't think she knows this about him. I don't think she knows she's made an impression on him. And maybe that's why it's like it's a good time for him to tell her that, because he's got interest in her. And she seems to be very, like, just now thinking in her own mind, I think I'd like to meet somebody. It would be wonderful. I think she also knows herself pretty well with that self-reflection, um, answered questions, untapped talents. I think that she is aware of what kind of partner she would want to have. Because we can see she's saying, I don't want to date a ton. I would rather go to something profound, somebody I could really build with. I'm good at really building, but I don't think she does fluffy. I don't think she's lighthearted. I think she's like she doesn't want to go out and go on the dating scene and date 15 different people and just party. She's like, I'd like to, have a barn and I don't know, maybe that's a dream of hers is to live on property and have a barn and have like a big old field to plow or something. And it's like, I'd love somebody to farm with. Well, that's a pretty big investment. That's long-term, energy. If you grow anything, raise anything, any living thing that is under your jurisdiction, you now have a responsibility to keep those things alive, tend to them, make sure they're thriving. So that she's got a pretty serious mindset in what she thinks of as relationship. So I could see how, yes, she's a very loyal heart. I think these two could be great together. So let me ask final question. Are you approaching her? Because it looks like you're going to. Girl of Discs sideways. That's the Page of Pentacles. Yes, very much so. I don't know if he has some memory. He must have seen her at one point in time, for him to be attracted to her or have her, on his radar at all. So it could be like he may need to say, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you. I definitely feel like with that elephant's trunk touching the crown of somebody's head, it's like I'm going to have to gently, knock on her memory bank door and be like, I don't know if you remember me, but he remembers her for sure. And we see somebody offering, in this case, it's kind of like a seed pod. Which is really nice in this because it's like planting a seed. I don't know if you would remember me. I met you a long time ago, but I've been thinking about reaching out to you for a while. That's probably a good opening line for him in this, That's actually really nice. Ace of Cups. I'm not saying he's saying, and I've been in love with you all this time, but I am saying this is clearly, I don't know. I just think it's him being pretty straightforward, that he's not trying to play games, that he remembers her because she made some kind of an impact. We see that heart. I didn't draw that on the card that's on there, even though I know it kind of looks like I took a marking pen to it, but I always look at this like a big old perfume bottle with the stopper still in it. But then we have that heart over it. And I would just say he may want to like confess, like, I met you a long time ago and it was, you kind of stayed on my mind because there was something really sweet about you or really nice about you. You seemed like you had a good heart. I think he's going to be pretty blunt about why she stayed on his mind. That's a great way to start something. I have great hope for this duo. I think that they could be like a really terrific pair because of who they seem to be. If he's coming across so like serious also, that's exactly what she is drawn to. That's exactly what she would want, is somebody who would be serious, because we already saw that in her. That is her energy all day. My Aries is here. Anyway, I'm going to leave this one here tonight, you guys. And I have to be honest, I was going to try to do more tonight, but I am absolutely exhausted. I think we kind of celebrated Thanksgiving in my world 3 days, and is really nice. And I loved it, but I am just realizing I am just completely drained, and it was so nice to come on here and just relax with you guys tonight. But I would love tomorrow. I don't have any more hosting or partying to do, so I'm really looking forward to hanging out with you guys and doing zodiacs tomorrow. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I send you lots and lots of love. You guys, thank you so much. Good to see everybody. Sparkle 11. Oh, I'm telling you, Angel Leo girl, yeah, Aries can't eat cat food at all. It makes him very sick. That's why he's got a real sensitive stomach, and once in a while he'll like to try to get a little nugget of cat food, and I can always tell because he doesn't smell so fine afterwards. Johnny the Carna, great to see you. Hi. Hi, honey. Sorry, Aries is over here. You can hear him. Just chill and dance. Good to see you, babe. Justin Satini. Hi, thanks for being here, Justin. Chrissy, awesome to see you, babe. Denisa, my pleasure. Thanks for popping in. Ionosaurus, hi. You guys are so lovely. Hetty, thank you again. I wish I doodled. I do. If you're talking to me, I do not have an Australian accent at all. Wish I did. I love the Australian accent. Hi, T baby. Good to see you, babe. Lightning Cass, I agree with you, sweetheart. Absolutely. My 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 meth my SMEF. I'm sorry. I know I'm botching your name. I'm so sorry. Starchild 777. Hey, Evan, how are you? Or is it Evanice Ferreria? Did I say that right? Sorry guys, I know when YouTube runs them all together, sometimes my eyeballs take a minute to try to like break words into visible words from my eyes. So forgive me if I'm botching everyone's name tonight. You are so awesome, Raise the Cage. Thank you again, babe. So sweet of you. Sanmoy, that's wonderful. I hope you've been celebrating in a big way. Kibby Shaw, hi, sweetie. Yes, I know. The doggies are pretty naughty, aren't they? Sunflowers, Moon Power, great to see you. Shout out to you in Western Australia, babe. Darlene, thank you, love. Thank you. RT, you were so spot on. Thank you for that, sweetie. Thank you for filling Starchild 777 in. Michelle, love, hi. GR. Sam Juanita, you're so funny. Rachel Flory, Louise, Lena Bora. Hi, sweetheart. Lena Bora, I'm going to hold off and do Cancer tomorrow because I feel like if I do it tonight, I'm not going to do a very good job because I know that I'm tired right now. And I don't ever like to do videos if I think I'm going to be like at 50% energy flow. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this one. And then if my energy goes up, which lots of times it does, then I'll do Cancer. And instead I can feel that I'm like, oh, I think bedtime tonight. So I'm sorry to make Cancerians wait, but I promise I'll do a better job for you guys on Sunday than if I try to do one tonight when I'm sleepy. So I think I ate too much. It's pouring rain. So nice to see you. Excuse me, guys. Black Butterfly. Hi, sweetie. Samantha S. Hi, babe. Thank you. Annette Summersby. Always a pleasure. Shout out to you in Queensland. You know, I did not know how many of you are in Australia. Like so many of you, I know that there's quite a collection of individuals in our community that are from Australia, but I honestly did not know how many of you. I'm so delighted. The first time I was ever going to travel, the first place I was ever going was Australia. And I mean, I got my passport specifically and I was going to go buy my ticket to Australia. And as I was waiting for my passport to arrive, all kinds of other things happened in the world and I wasn't able to go. And then instead, everything changed and I ended up going to Greece like almost a year later, just like on a very cheap flight. And I fell in love with Greece and spent a lot of time there over the next, like decade. I went to Greece a lot. And I never made it to Australia, and it has been like this burning desire for me that has gotten like more and more intense over the years. And I'm like, I have to get to Australia. I just know it. So I don't know. It warms my heart so much that so many of you are from Australia. It makes me feel closer to that goal that I have in my head. Alamar, hi, Miss Jamie. Great to see you. Mama Eagle, so wonderful to see you. Thanks again. Lots of love using my intuition. Oh my gosh, so many days. You are so kind. Oh, thank you guys. I am so honored. Angel Leo girl, thanks again, sweetheart. You're so generous. Buttercups, hi, happy bubble. Wonderful to see you. I know, Chrissy, right? It's time to go to Oz at some point. At some point. The thing is, my boy, I can't go without Aries. So I can't go until he's like I think he needs probably a little bit more maturity, a little bit more training because I won't go without him. If Aries can't go, I can't go because I couldn't be without him. So traveling with him is going to be on a big flight. He hasn't ever flown yet, so that's going to be a big thing for him. But anyway, all things are possible. All right, you guys, lots of love. Thanks so much for being here, everybody. Sweet dreams, you guys. Bye.